Have you ever had a plan that you were so sure was from God? You prayed about it. You dreamed about it. You worked hard for it. And then, in what felt like a single moment, it all collapsed. There's a man I know. Let's call him David. For years, David had been building his dream. It wasn't just a business. It was his calling. He poured every ounce of energy, every dollar, and every prayer into it. And things were looking good. After years of grinding, the business was finally turning a profit. He had a small but loyal team, and for the first time in years, he felt safe. But then, 2020 happened. The pandemic swept in like a storm. And in a matter of months, everything changed. The customers stopped coming. The bills didn't. The savings ran out faster than he could have imagined. And then came the day he had been dreading. The day he had to look into the eyes of his employees and say, "I'm sorry, I can't keep this going anymore." That night, David sat alone in his office. The walls felt like they were closing in. He stared at the empty chairs, the silent phone, the pile of unpaid invoices. And the questions came, one after another, pounding like waves. God, why would you let this happen? Wasn't this what you wanted me to do? Did I fail you? I told David something I want to tell you right now. There's a man in the Bible who knew exactly what it was like to lose everything. His name was Job. Job didn't just lose his business. He lost his livestock, his wealth, his health, and even the support of his friends. In Job 1, it says that in a single day, messengers came to him one after another. The oxen were plowing, and the donkeys grazing nearby, and the Sabaeans attacked, and made off with them. The fire of God fell from the heavens, and burned up the sheep. The Chaldeans formed 3 raiding parties, and swept down on your camels. Your sons and daughters were feasting, when suddenly a mighty wind struck, and they are dead. Imagine that. Everything gone. And still, Job said something I can't shake from my heart. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. Job 1:21. David told me he didn't feel like praising that night. And maybe you've been there too. When your plans are in ruins, the last thing you want to do is worship. But here's what I told him. God isn't asking you to pretend you're not hurting. He's asking you to remember that your loss is not the end of his story. Over the next few months, David had nothing left to do but pray and wait. It wasn't easy. Some days, he didn't even know what to pray. But slowly, God began to rebuild. Not the old business. Something entirely new. Opportunities he never imagined started opening. Skills he had developed in the old season were exactly what he needed in the new one. And one day, he realized he wouldn't have stepped into this new calling if God had allowed the old one to keep going. Friend, maybe that's where you are right now. You've lost a dream, a job, a relationship, a plan that you thought was your future. It's okay to grieve it. But don't forget this. God can restore more than you think you've lost. Sometimes he lets the old structure fall because the foundation needs to be rebuilt. Job's story didn't end in ashes. In Job 42:10, it says, "The Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before." That's the kind of God we serve. One who can take a chapter of devastation and turn it into a testimony of restoration. So, if your plans have fallen apart, take a deep breath, lift your eyes, even if they're filled with tears, and say, "God, I don't understand, but I trust you." Because the God who walked Job through the ashes is the same God who will walk you through yours. And one day, you'll see the beauty he was building all along. If this story speaks to you, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell me, what part of your life do you need to trust God with right now? And don't forget to subscribe to Trust in Light, so you never miss another Bible story that can bring hope to your heart.